Hey, Wan'Dale, welcome back.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you. How
thank
you
you. How
doing?
you doing?
Good, good. When have to kind of make the decision to transfer, Coach Stoops mentioned, I think it was last month. There were some hurt feelings, obviously, when kind of the way things played out the first time around. For you, just how do you kind of assess how that went, and just trying to get past that, and making the decision to come here now?
I think that was just kind of me, kind of being young and under a lot of pressure from a lot of different people, pulling me from all different sides, and um, I think that's kind of what people sometimes forget is the pressure that was I was kind of put under during that time, and just everything. Everybody wanted me to go to a certain school and that kind of thing, and being from Kentucky, so it did kind of hurt a little bit just deciding to go to Nebraska, but deciding to come home, they opened me back with welcome arms. They weren't holding that against me at all or anything like that. So it was just really good to know that they really wanted me on their football team.
Nick Roush.
What was the reaction like when ultimately everybody, friends and family and whatnot, found out you were coming back to Kentucky?
Everybody was
Everybody
happy.
was
I mean,
happy.
everybody gets to. It's a lot better drive than 12 hours to come watch me play football. 30 minutes right down the road, so I get to see a lot of my family. So everybody was just excited and excited to see me play back home.
Was the recruiting cell different, or how was it different this time around versus 2 or 3 years ago, whatever that was?
Well, it was just much shorter, much shorter time period of how long you had to decide. Um, Coaches were just calling at any point in the day and that kind of thing. So, and having just go ahead and tell schools that I would just kind of already have my mind made up and those kind of things. So,
How did the changes in the offensive coordinator, did that make any impact on your decision?
oh yeah, definitely. Seeing that Liam was hired here and he was bringing in more of a pro style scheme, and just seeing the things that I could do to hopefully get to the next level, and then actually getting to talk with him during the recruiting process and just sit down with him and actually watch just a little film and things like that of things that I could do, and that just really, was what really sold me. So.
Larry Vaught.
Hey, Wan'Dale, nice to talk to you again. For those of us now that haven't seen you for a couple of years since you were at Western Hills, how have you changed as a player and as a person, maybe even?
I mean, I feel like I've always been the same person. I don't really feel like I've changed, and I've just grown up a lot. But on the football field, I mean, I don't really play. Well, now I don't think I'll be in the backfield as much as, and I hope not. So, won't be seeing a lot of that, and just overall, just getting better in all aspects of my game. So.
And were you really surprised that they welcomed you back with open arms to Kentucky? Did you really think they might not?
I wasn't too surprised. I mean, at the end of the day, it's football, and they know the situation, and they understood what happened, and I understood what happened, and then we just kind of came to an agreement that it was just kind of all over with, and we didn't really have to think about that anymore. So.
Thank you.
Lee K. Howard.
Wan'Dale, now that all that's behind you and the decision to come to Kentucky is now a thing, how eager are you just to get started with spring football this next week and start working with your new team?
I mean, I'm really excited. I mean, it's been fun just working out with these guys and just getting to know everybody. So I'm really excited to put on pads and actually start practicing and just get around everybody.
Okay, Dick Gabriel.
Wandale, one of the needs this team has had for the last couple seasons has been a downfield threat, someone to stretch the field. Were you aware of that? And did you all talk about that during the process?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Coach Stoops, they told me that they just needed a little spark on the offense. I mean, obviously the run game was there. They just need some guys that just have some explosive plays and just stretch the field and open up the box a little bit, so that way we're just more balanced on offense. So.
Derek Terry.
Along the lines of a few of those questions that were asked. Obviously, when you were recruited by Kentucky, you probably know quite a few of the guys on the roster. But I was just wondering, since you've been here, who some of those guys that maybe you've become close with, or maybe with COVID still going on, I don't know how good a relationship you've been able to build yet with some of the other.
I mean, just with guys that I already knew. Me and JJ, we had played together in middle school, and so I had known him from whenever we were really younger. Bo Allen, and then Justice Dingle, and just all those kind of guys. I mean, I've really gotten along with everybody, and outside of football, I try to get to see everybody and at least do something just to get to know people. So.
Josh Moore.
I actually wanted to ask about Bo Wan'Dale. How nice is it to be on the same team as that guy instead of having to watch him throw passes on the other team?
That's nice. He's not throwing touchdown passes against my high school anymore, where I'm just chasing all over the field trying to stop him. So,
Larry Vaught,
Yeah, kind of following up on that, Wandale, I know you and Bo talked some in high school about playing together in college and all. So you got ready to make your decision to come back to Kentucky. Did you call and get any advice from Bo or ask any questions or any information or anything?
it was never really like information or anything. I just kind of asked how he was feeling about the team and just how he felt about the new offensive coordinator coming in. And I mean, he just told me, he was like, if you decide to come home, I mean, I'm sure we'll all be happy to have you. And we had gotten to throw a little bit during quarantine, so I kind of know how he is already with throwing the football and things like that. So we kind of gotten a little comfortable already. So.
Josh Moore,
I don't know enough about Nebraska to be up front as far as like the offensive line and stuff there goes. But watching what Kentucky did here, when they had just struggled in the pass game, but what they did operating with their line, and especially that year with Lynn Bowden, like what were your thoughts watching that kind of stuff? Because you're just seeing that, even though you don't want to be in the backfield, just the inventiveness and some of the things that you can do when you have a really strong offensive line.
I mean, it was just crazy to see. It was like you knew they were going to run the ball, and it just kept working. So, I mean, I remember sitting in my house, and I'm just like, I don't know how you can't stop it if you know it's coming. But obviously that O-line did a lot of work, and I mean, I'm seeing it in person now, so I really get to see why. So.
Derek Terry,
Yeah, Will Levis won't be here for a few more months, but obviously you played against him at Nebraska this past season. Just from what you know about him, just any thoughts on his game?
I mean, he's a big kid, strong arm. We've actually gotten to talk a little bit whenever he hit the portal, and he had known that I was coming here, so he was just kind of getting my thoughts and things like that. So I was excited whenever he decided to come here too, just to give us another arm in that room, and so hopefully have a really good battle with figuring out who's going to be our quarterback.
John Wall,
Hey, Wan'Dale, with your background, you knew you would get a lot of encouragement and support from people in Kentucky. Are you surprised at the level of chatter that's been ratcheted up due to your return?
I mean, not really, just kind of how everything went on whenever I decided to leave. So I knew that it would kind of be a lot of chatter with me coming back. So, I mean, I'm excited about it. I like it. I don't try to pay too much attention to it, but it's kind of hard to get away. So.
Josh Moore,
I've said for a while that I've had to think that Josh Ali was one of the most excited guys to hear that you were coming. What have you gotten to how much have you gotten to spend talking to him and just talking about what you all might be able to do now that it makes both of your lives a little easier to have each other out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we haven't specifically just talked on that, but just talking football and just things that he sees on the field and things like that. And how his perspective from last year and my perspective from my school. So that's just really where we've tried to connect and just on the field trying to help each other and whatever we can learn in this new offense.
Nick Roush,
You mentioned a couple times Coach Cohen's new offense. What in particular can really help you show off your skill set about this offense? What makes it so friendly to you?
It's just matchups. A lot of the pass game goes through that slot guy, and so that's just really what I want to do, and just being an efficient route runner and being able to catch a lot of balls just to move the chains.
What do you think you've learned after playing college football for 2 years? What have you gained from that experience?
I mean, I've gained just experience in general. Now just being out there, I know just to go out there and play. I don't have to think too much and thinking about coverages and things like that because I've seen a lot now. So it'll be different being in the SEC, but it's at the end of the day, it's football. So.
Larry Vaught,
Wandale, do you figure to be involved in the return game any? Is that something you would like to be involved in?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like that's an asset that I bring to the table. So just anything to help our team win, and I feel like that's one area I could help.
Josh Moore,
Just being a high profile transfer. Even without the connection to Kentucky, you would have been a really big transfer coming into the program. With the way that rule's changing and how those things are being handled going forward, just what do you think there's, because I think before there might have been like a stigma to guys transferring, but it seems like that's pretty much gone away. Do you think that's the case, or how do you kind of evaluate that?
I mean, I definitely think so. I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to do what's best for you for your future. I mean, that's just kind of how I took it. So, I mean, you just have to look at the situation. Everybody's situation is different. So I just don't think you can fault everybody for just one thing. So I think you just have to look at the situation and determine from there.
Okay, anything else for Wan'Dale? All right, thank y'all so much. We'll have Kai, Sharon.